What's up everybody, and it's your boy Skipx, and as promised, like I said in my last video, we're going to be doing a short little breakdown of what we see in this new Final Fantasy VII Remake trailer. So with all of that being said, let's jump into it. So obviously, as it starts off with the text, the return draws closer. It obviously focuses in on our first actual appearance of Aerith in this version of Final Fantasy VII Remake, and we can only assume that this shot is within engine because we see a lot of gameplay from this point onward within the trailer. Now moving onwards into the next scene, we can see Cloud first getting off the train being encountered by Shinra soldiers. As you can see, it's nothing really that interesting. It's just a new design for the Shinra soldiers, and we finally get to see Cloud in this updated version of the game. Obviously, we're seeing this missile attack from one of the very first bosses that we fight in Final Fantasy VII, seeing as the first part of the Final Fantasy VII Remake is going to primarily take part in Midgard, and they don't want to spoil too much of maybe some of the remake's changes to the games. They're focusing a lot on stuff that takes place before the bombing run, which I've noticed throughout this trailer, so don't expect to see too many crazy things throughout this whole trailer. But one thing we should note is actually the UI. As we can see on our right, we can see Barret and Cloud's name with their HP from what we can only assume to the right being their MP, and two blue bars under each of their names. I can only assume that those bars refer to maybe their limit breaks or their special moves, whichever one you choose to call them, which we will end up seeing later on in this trailer. And on the left, we actually see commands called Punisher, Attack, and a circle for command menu, which also has two blue bars under it, which probably leads us to believe that that will be the menu, and the circle button will lead to you doing special actions like using magic or using limit breaks like cross slash, for example. But moving on to the next scene, is just a short quick scene of Barret and some of our other comrades making their way into the train. Nothing more, nothing too great. Obviously the character models look great, as you can see, and there's really not too much to mention here. And obviously what we can see right here is the section of us getting out of the reactor. Obviously it's going to be a lot more cinematic and have a lot more stuff to do to get out as opposed to the original game, and this is just a short little clip of that, so that is very nice to see. Also, this trailer now confirms that we will be able to play as other characters in this game. As you can see with Barret, you have square for attack, triangle for back blast, which may infer that every single character is going to have a special triangle command, so we can assume for triangle every single member of your party will have a unique action command, which will lead into their certain gameplay styles. And next, if you look over to the right, you can also see another character is confirmed to be in this part of the game, which is Tifa, of course. She does not make an appearance at any time during this gameplay trailer, which is very unfortunate, but they may be saving her for June when they reveal more information at E3. Next, another cool thing with the UI, as we can see now, we are in the shortcut menu, getting hints of KH2 here, and the reason why this UI is looking very similar to KH2 with the shortcuts being towards Braver, which is one of Cloud's special moves, and even being able to shortcut Potion is mainly because the person who is leading the combat on this game is actually the lead combat designer for KH2, who was Mitsunori Takahashi. Yes, he is the guy who was behind KH2's amazing combat system. So if you were disappointed by KH3's combat system, which I was let down by just a little bit, and if you're looking for something to be even remotely similar to it or something to get hyped about, this is the game that you want to be looking for. FF7 is going to be the next game where he's going to be the lead combat designer on, and it looks like he is pulling a fair bit of things from Kingdom Hearts 2, or obviously it's not going to play exactly the same. It's been over 10 years since that game has come out, and he has a whole bunch of new ideas he wants to explore. This is going to be somewhat in the same vein of that game, so hopefully he can pull out another amazing combat system that we will love to toy around with and mess with for years to come. And then we just continue to get more shots of different characters, Barret, Aerith, of course, and goddamn, she does look amazing in this trailer. And one thing I do want to focus on really quickly, because this is the best shot that we get of Cloud's profile during this whole trailer, is that they've actually changed up Cloud's design as opposed to what we have seen back in the 2015 trailer, where he looked almost kind of sickly in a way. He was really too skinny, which really kind of bothered me and a lot of other people, but it looks like they have actually beefed him up when I put the two pictures side by side. And two, they have changed his face a little bit, and also they've changed his skin tone and made him a slightly bit tanner. Overall, I like this new character model because it is new. If you look at it, it's basically a new model. He's a bit buffer, his face is overall different, and he looks a whole lot healthier in general. He just did not look correct in that last trailer, but we could just sum that up to him being in an earlier version, and that was an earlier version of the game after they had to rehaul it after CyberConnect 2 basically made no progress on the game for over 2 years. So with that being said, this is a good improvement overall, and I can't wait to see how other characters will blend into this new art style and this new graphical art style that they're aiming for with Final Fantasy VII Remake. And then from here, obviously you can see Aerith has joined us in combat as well, doing what she does. Obviously we're seeing the weird looking turtle monsters from the beginning part of Final Fantasy VII that everybody knows, and pretty much it's the game just on a whole nother scale and a whole new level of visual detail that we have never seen before. I can't wait until Square Enix releases some better screenshots overall of this trailer. Hopefully it'll be up on their press site very soon so we can actually take these screenshots in their full beauty, but as of right now this is all we have. So overall, pretty much with the rest of this trailer, we just see a couple of parts of cutscenes, we see a little bit more gameplay, and nothing really too exciting except for one thing, which is this last scene between Sephiroth and Cloud. And if you have played FF7 even a little bit, just like the first couple of hours of FF7, you would know during the Midgard section of the game, Sephiroth should not be there at all. So either this is going to be a flashback, or this is going to be one of the few major changes that they are going to be making to FF7's story, and kind of weaving Sephiroth all throughout the game maybe. So we'll see what happens with this, but it is a very interesting choice. And note that they have not shown his face, so they're probably going to be saving his face reveal for another time. But he does have a little bit of an odd weird texture on his coat, so it is somewhat of a redesign. I wonder how the front of his jacket is going to look. They're obviously not going to touch Sephiroth too much because he's too iconic to change him up dramatically, but there obviously are going to be some changes with all of the characters' designs going forward throughout this game. So that being said, if you enjoyed this breakdown of the trailer, I usually cover JRPGs and fighting games on this channel, but I usually dip my toes into whatever really interests me at the time. So with that being said, if you want to see more videos like this one talking about FF7, Final Fantasy, Persona, and other series, hit that subscribe button, put a like on the video, and I will see you all in the next one.